Hello everybody, welcome back to the Landedkiller show. Today I will be reviewing the ship Agincourt. The ship has an interesting history behind it. It was made to be ordered to Brazil, but it was purchased eventually by the Ottoman Empire. It was eventually obtained by Britain and served in the Royal Navy. Now I believe it was only during World War I that the ship was active. I don't believe it was active after that period. Unique feature about it is the 7 turrets. Start by going over our armor layout, which is pretty different. 19mm plating up here. HE shell will easily get through there. 102, 152 here. Got 2 different armor plates there. Bottom, of course, it's still at 19. Our front turret, 305mm at the front, 203 on the sides, 76 at the top. We got this 229mm barbette section here. Superstructure plating 13mm. Middle deck is 38mm, which is pretty decent for a tier 5. Our armor's still the same around the turrets. We got some armored sections at the top. The conning tower 152 at the top, 229 there. 305 at the front, 102 at the top. Aft deck is 19 meters. Armor bell is 152, so battleships are going to get through this top part rather easily. We got an armor bell of 229, side plating of 5mm, 30mm here, 30mm very bottom, 10mm at the sides. Let's get this armor taken away so we can see what our Citadel armor looks like. It looks kind of interesting here. We got 25mm on the deck. Our bats are all 76. Nope, we got 152mm section towards the back here. 229 in the front of that, 76, 76. That's why I always check that. So the top of the Citadel deck is 25mm. Our aft Citadel with Warship is 76mm and 25 toward the bottom. We got some torpedo bulkhead sections here that are 38mm and some weaker sections in between, which are 25mm. Our Citadel sits slightly above the waterline, as you can see here. Alright, let's look at the front of the warship. Front of the warship, 76mm, 25mm here. Survivability is going to be 48,400. Torpedo damage reduction, 14%. Pretty decent for a tier 5 battleship. Artillery, we got 7 of these 305mm guns here. They reload in 36 seconds. They turn in 37.5 seconds. The range is 15.3 kilometers. Secondary armament is 10x1, 76mm. You can see them right here, these little guys. We got a 152mm armament here. Pretty strong secondary battery. See, your reload is pretty decent too. But usually at this tier, it's not worth it to spec into secondaries. We got 2 attack flights of airstrikes. Pretty decent stats there. Maneuverability, 22 knots, so it's on the low side, but it's typical for this generation of battleships. Turning circle radius 670 meters. Rudder shift time 13.4 seconds. Let me double check my equipment to make sure that's base. Yep, that's base. Concealment values here. You got the 11.9, 9.4 if you're going to fire the guns and smoke. On fire 13.9. Subs, there's that. Air. When on fire, 11.7. After firing a main battery gun shell, 14.8. Assured detect kill range, 2.0. After firing a gun, that's going to be 9.4. So for skills, I have Demolition Expert, Grease the Gears, Long Range Secondary Battery Shells, and Manual Secondary Battery Aiming. The reason why I went for a secondary setup on this is because I wanted to have a little fun with it. But your ideal setup would be a skilled demolition expert, Your second skill being Vigilance or Brisk. You got pretty good, decent concealment on this ship, actually. And then for your third skill, you probably want to go for Adrenaline Rush. And for your fourth skill, Close Quarters Combat to get the reload time down on the guns, or Fire Prevention Expert. So let me just highlight these, that way you know. Demolition, then this, and this. Of course, we're going to be seeing a secondary Agincourt because that's how I have her set up here. That's what I decided on for this ship. Main Armaments Mod 1 is my equipment. Damage Control System Mod 1. And Aiming Systems Mod 1 to make the guns a little bit more accurate. Shield damage for high explosives 4,400. 32% to cause fire on targets. Armor piercing is 8,100 damage. Velocities are the same. Sometimes you'll find that the velocities are different on shells depending on different ships, different nations, that sort of thing. Again, range 50.3. Pretty standard consumables here. Damage control party, that is normal. Our reload time on that is 80 seconds. And 4 charge repair party. And you can see that that is base. So if I had this, then it would be 5, but I don't. Alright, without further ado, we're going to take this out into a co-op. Now I'm going to confirm Agincourt. Let's see here. I believe it is. You can get it through either containers or directly through the premium shop. So I'm gonna double check the price on that now for you guys. This loads here. Let's see here. Agincourt is listed under $21.40 directly in the premium shop, or you can try your chances at, I believe it's the Always Courageous containers. Opens up its own collection and all that. Just buy it directly in the premium shop. Is it worth the $21.20? Yes, it is. You can see that your guns take a while to reload. You gotta take into account when engaging enemies. I just think it's more fun to mess around with secondaries. That's why I have the secondary build. But let's say you're in a brawl or something. If there's ever a tier 5 rank, you probably want to spec in the survivability build, of course. Still outside of my range here. Enemy destroyer. See, it's a little hard to get all the guns on target here. I tend to enjoy this ship for just doing some grinding and co-op occasionally. I'm wanting to have fun after a losing streak in randoms. Sometimes happens in this game. Just really depends on what time of day you're playing and all that. try to get into secondary range of a battleship or two. So it's like if I went to Cap C, I might get in range of some of them. You're gonna see that videos are gonna be spaced out a little bit on the channel for a while here. At least until I get things a little bit settled. As for Agincourt, you know, the guns really help it out a lot. You really don't want to choose this ship over October Revolution any day, I would say, actually, because October Revolution just has bad accuracy with the guns. But this ship actually is quite good. The accuracy is quite good with the guns. Especially when you put on the equipment. See that those secondaries are already firing off. The whole idea behind the secondaries as they rework them is they're more of a support armament rather than being a deterrent to destroyers like they used to be. See that some of them shells are firing. Don't have too many of them firing though. Again, this with the torpedoes being pretty dominant inside the co-op lately. And in randoms, it's kind of it's really annoying meta. It's just how the game's changing. As for have I seen news on French cruisers? Yes, I've seen some posts on the Reddit right now that suggest that the new French line is going to be a line of battle cruisers, French battle cruisers. And the gun calibers of 305 to 330 millimeters in caliber. As for will it be worth it to grind the new French line, I don't know, as I don't have the specs of the line yet. Usually, I think what they're doing now is they're making us have to go. They're making us have to go to the streams in order to get information, which I find to be really annoying. Which I don't agree with. I shouldn't have to sit there and go on a live stream from World of Warships to get information. I should be able to just read it in the dev blog. I mean, come on. So I'm gonna guess that the full-on stats are going to be published within the next day or two probably, but first on the live stream. I wish that they would put the details out there beforehand a little bit. But it is what it is. But let's kind of wrap up this review here real quick. Is Agincourt worth the $21.20? Yes. The guns will fire off great for you. The secondaries are decent. If you want to have fun, spec into secondaries. If you want to be more competitive, spec into survivability, of course. I kind of did like a hybrid setup of both. Just because I wanted the best of both worlds. I believe it is these guys right here. Let's see here. Always Courageous was Oklahoma. Okay. There is a container type. Let me see. Some Latin American Resolute Rapid Legion of Honor. Not Legion of Honor. Navy. France. I thought for sure that there was containers that you got Agincourt out of. They must not be in the armory at the moment. So I'm checking all these, and they don't. These are all past events. Look under the normal container types. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so it was Battle of Jutland containers. I clicked right on it. Okay. So it looks like there's only the coal version of them. 1% chance to drop it. Ooh, that's really terrible. You also have the chance to get Albert out of these too. Kind of see your chances here, but for 1% chance, I wouldn't mess with this. I'd just buy it directly from the premium shop unless you really want to waste coal on that, because there's so many good ships you can get for coal. Like you could save up for Napoli, for Salem, for Moskva, for Kearsarge. So many good options. For some silly reason, they don't ever have tier 8s or tier 2s for coal. Really weird. So overall, Agincourt is worth it for the $21.20. Don't do the containers. Not worth it. End of the day, I hope you found this review to be useful, and I hope you have a nice day. And I'll see you in the next video.